Hello everyone, this is a request for Adrie, spaghetti and meatballs. It should be so fun. Okay, I need to first cut up some bread. This is going to be some filler for the meatballs, you know. Some people use breadcrumbs, but I am following a particular recipe from a gal that I saw online, and she has the funniest YouTube channel. So cute the way she teaches how to cook. I am going to put that link to her particular video on how to make spaghetti and meatballs. So if any of you like what I do today here, you definitely need to go check out in descriptions under my video this spaghetti and meatball recipe and video. So here all I'm going to do is cut up this super duper cheap doughy bread. And it's going to be filler for my meatballs. Yeah, I just butchered that, didn't I? No. One last scraggly piece here. The crust is just as good as the rest of the bread. Looks good. Next, we need some water, and we need 2/3 cup. Can't really show you that it tilts like that, so that'll do. Yeah, I'm following her recipe as exactly as possible. But her cubes came out much better than mine. Alright, it's been forever since I have used fresh garlic, so this should be interesting as I have no clue what I'm doing here. Well, I think I'd better come up with something else. I just use this mallet to smash them open. I think I've heard of that on videos before. Honestly, my kitchen is so not equipped with modern conveniences, so I have to do this the best I can. This calls for 8 cloves of garlic, so I might have to get a couple more later. Breadcrumbs. Okay. Now remember how to dice and mince garlic. I don't think I do. But we'll get there. I do like the sound of the peels on the garlic. I do like that. I did watch a video that showed how you could take your little garlic cloves and shake them up inside of a bowl or something, and all the peels would come off. And I thought I'd do that, except for that we'd miss the sound of the crunchy peelings. So chop chop. I have like one knife to serve every purpose in my kitchen. I'm getting there. I'm getting there. Chop chop. Chop 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 some more. Okay, now we're into dice, 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 dice. Getting there. How's that look? I think now I want to mince those. Garlic, mince. I think I'm gonna call that good enough. Okay, I want to save 4 cloves of garlic for the meatballs and 4 cloves of garlic for the sauce. That's how the recipe goes. No wasting. Gotta get every bit out. Scoop that in. Okay, that looks about right. I love the smell of garlic. Okay, now we are ready to put in some lean ground beef. And this is very, very lean ground beef. I don't know the purpose for that, according to this woman, who did the video. But I imagine it's because the sausage is so fatty that the beef should, in contrast, be very lean. That's my guess. So lean, very lean ground beef. And here is some sweet Italian just add this egg. That is some kind of greasy. Alright, we need some garlic. About 4 cloves. Oh, and the beef and the sausage are a pound each. 1 pound. I probably or might have used a tad bit more than 1 pound each, but I didn't weigh it. Need just a bit of salt. One teaspoon. Yeah, it's too empty, can't reach it. Let's just pour and see what kind of luck we have. Fine Mediterranean sea salt. Sadly, use that for cooking, but here we have some generic ground pepper. We want half a teaspoon of that. Okay, now I think we're ready to mix. You know, on the video I watched, that gal just stuck her hands right in it and mixed it. I'm going to use gloves. These long nails, it would take an hour to get the meat out from underneath my nails. But I'm not going to mix it with that spoon. That would take forever. So let's go ahead. Put on these handy dandy these are not surgical gloves, these are some other kind of vinyl protecting. If I could ever get them on, this is not easy. They may be a tiny bit small for me, I don't know. It feels okay. Alright, let's just dig in here real quick. This is gonna sound pretty. Mushy gushy, squeezy sounds. I want to get it all really evenly distributed. Yeah, I wouldn't have wanted to put my hands in this greasy mess. These nails. I'd do it if I didn't have my acrylics on right now. It's kind of fun. The meat is cold, so it feels good. Okay, let's just do a little bit more, and I think that's going to be good. I'm not that picky about it. Let's just get these gloves off. It's slippery. Alright, let's get my flour situated over here. I'm going to just use my teaspoon for a measuring implement, so to speak. In the video that I watched, this gal used a ice cream scoop, but I don't have one because I supposedly don't eat ice cream, right? Okay. But if you want meatballs or ice cream bad enough, you'll find a way to scoop it. Okay, I am dipping these meatballs, very loosely rounded, into some regular household flour. And I don't have any particular reason or understanding as to why. I am just following a recipe. And this is in my mind, I like the idea of flour being on the outside because it's going to possibly create a roux. A roux is the name for another name for sauce or gravy. I believe it's a type. But I think the flour will help when I go to make the spaghetti sauce. And it's also protecting the meatballs and my hands from being sticky. So that's another good reason I can think of for having flour on the outside of these meatballs. I like it. Once I get the flour on the outside, it's easier for me to roll or pat these into the shape I want. I noticed in the other gal's video that meatballs don't stay around because the meat is too pliable, too soft to sit and cook without kind of going flat. So same thing's happening here. Haven't even started cooking them and they're going kind of flat. That's okay. I don't think I'm going to use all of the meat that I have here today because I am eating by myself just for today. And I will have a lot of leftovers for the rest of the people in the household. Used to be just my husband, but now I have my daughter and my granddaughter living with us. Maybe they'll eat some spaghetti and meatballs. I think we're ready to fry. Let's take them over to the stove. Nice and hot in the pot. I'm just going to use some regular canola oil from Kroger. I didn't have any olive oil. I don't do enough Italian cooking. Not that I couldn't use it for everything, but sometimes money is a factor. While that oil's getting hot, let's cut up an onion, shall we? My favorite part. I hope I don't cry. Let's go ahead and cut the ends off. I think it'll be easier to peel that way. There we go. I think I can get under that now. I don't cook with fresh onions very often either. That's something that's well, I can't really classify. Some people probably cook with fresh ingredients all the time, even if it's just themselves. But it's been just me and my husband for 12 years now, and it isn't very often that I use fresh ingredients to cook with, outside of salads and greens and, onions I can get dried and diced, and it's simpler if it's just for taste. But onions, fresh onions, has got to be so much better for your health in general. Alright, let's put these little guys in the grease. Canola oil is what I'm using. I have heard that it's a decent, healthful oil. Okay, now let's face it, spaghetti and meatballs are not necessarily health food, although I don't see anything wrong with them. Unless you can't have a lot of pork or fat in your diet. I guess it depends on the individual. This is going to be so good. Let's just let those cook for a little bit. And chop onions while we wait. I got my cleaver out because my knife just wasn't cutting these onions as well. And this is not doing very good either. We're getting there though. Let's turn these guys over. See how they're kind of flattened on one side. Maybe but it's gonna taste just fine. Just that. You can see some breadcrumbs or bread pieces in here that I didn't get completely smashed in. Smashed and mashed. Should make it interesting though. Now, I don't know that you would want to brown them as dark as I am, but I am one of those people who likes things well done. Okay, here we have more onion chopping. This is not easy. Okay. Here's some Adrie shape. Meatballs. It's called octagonals. Meat triangles. Anything but balls, not round. Just gonna put these up on the paper plate. Let the grease soak into the plate, and that's fine. It sure smells so good. I love Italian sausage. Okay. Let's gather up some onions. Gonna grab some tomato sauce here. These are crushed tomatoes. The recipe called for 2 cans of crushed tomatoes, but I wanted it to be more saucy, so the only change I made to her recipe was to add some tomato sauce instead of another can of crushed tomatoes. See, I say I'm following a recipe exactly, and what do I do? I guess you just gotta be yourself. Alright, set these here for a segundo. Is that a word? Right, my onions and my garlic cooking away here. Just get them brown. Saute them until they're brown. And just took most of the oil out of the pan and left the roux, the flour, drippings and such. Okay, those are the crushed tomatoes and a can of tomato sauce. And like I said, I'm going to put a link in description to the channel that has all the information on how to make this. Bring it to a boil, a light boil. And after you get it to a boil, you can put your meatballs in, and you need to submerge them, get them fully covered by tomato sauce. Oh, and you cook the meatballs about 2 minutes on each side. You leave the lid slightly off, so you let it simmer for 30 minutes. Just like that. 30 minutes on low, just simmering. Let's get some wine. Looks so good. It says that it's a low alcohol grape wine specialty with natural flavors. Semi-sweet. Looks so good, pretty. Stella Rosa, product of Italy. Let's taste this. So good. Isn't that a pretty bottle? I love it. El Conte. I just have to put some in the sauce. Bit more. I think that's going to be so good. Now, the other cook that I got this recipe from did not put wine in her sauce. It was just an irresistible urge. Okay, lid back on. Set this aside. Let's get some noodles out and cook them. Look at this. I didn't even realize it. But it's Italian spaghetti. And I got some real whole Parmesan cheese wedge. Yum. Okay. Let's open up these noodles. It says made in Italy. Macaroni product, bronze cut, dried pasta from the Campania region of Italy, crafted with golden amber durum wheat semolina. Imported bronze cut from Italy. Durum semolina. And this is a private selection from Kroger. Nothing super special about that. Let's go ahead and get some water ready to boil. For our noodles. Okay, I don't need that much water because the noodles will fill up the pan. I usually cook it in, 3/4 of the way to the top. All right. Heat on high. Let's do something else. Pretty. Smells so good. Okay. I think I'm going to open up the cheese while we're waiting for the water to boil. Honestly, I don't think I'm gonna get the noodles cooked and the cheese grated before the sauce is finished. That half an hour is gonna go by fast. Honestly, I have never, ever in my life ever made meatballs. Never. This has a lot of oil or grease or something from the cheese. Can't touch that if I'm going to grate this. Let's keep the wrapper on. Wipe my hands a little more and hold on to it with the napkin. See what I can do. See if I can show you this view of cheese grating. That's an interesting perspective, isn't it? I can see it as I'm grating, and it's interesting. I'm wearing my camera so I can actually see from underneath my chin where the camera sits the view that you all are seeing as well. But sometimes I forget to look and I just do what I do, not paying any attention. I'm looking down now at what this looks like, and it's so cool. See, let's try to change our perspective just a little bit and come to the outside of the grater in just a second here. It's not working too well. Let's try the other side. I can't move around very much. That's enough cheese. It's funny because the cheese is really dry, except for the outside of it. So fine, so pretty. Well, I'm gonna have a lot left for our next meal because I have got some leftover meatball meat as well. So we'll have this again during the week later on. And this Parmesan cheese probably stay good for a long time in the refrigerator, even if we don't use it. So good. I'm gonna say that every time. It's low alcohol, so it really, it tastes more like a wine cooler. Okay, let's go ahead and put this macaroni product. Hey, it's not boiling yet. Darn it. Guess we gotta go do something else. Let's take our salt and pepper and basil and bring it over to the sauce. They said at the towards the end of its cook time that you could add salt and pepper to taste. Just whatever you think you would like. And I'm a pepper fan. I love pepper. And I'm also a salt fiend, so let's close this so I don't put too much in. Let's just shake some out. Now I'm wearing my camera, so sometimes when I do stuff like this or chop onions, the camera shakes all around with my body. So I have to try to be very still with my upper torso when I'm doing physically active things. Alright, so a little salt, a little pepper, just a little basil. Basil is a pretty strong tasting spice, so if you don't like it, you don't want to put a lot in. Right, not going to stir that around too much because this is going to end up simmering a little longer than what's called for. But the way I see it is that the longer a sauce steeps, the better the flavor. Hey, we're boiling now. How much should I cook? The pot's not that big. That might be okay. But all of it is better. It's so great to have leftovers, don't you think? I'm going to add a bit of oil to the water to cook the noodles so they don't stick together. It's so useful, so helpful. I'm glad I discovered that trick because in the past I would cook noodles and they would stick together and they just wouldn't cook thoroughly. Just make sure that oil and water get evenly distributed between the strands. Okay, it's boiling. Let's just leave that for about 15 minutes while I get some of this stuff put away. I just want to do a little cleanup along the way because I always feel better if my workspace is not cluttered and crazy. Put the cheese back in the refrigerator. Now that's really a boiling boil there, so that's gonna be good here in just a few more minutes. You're supposed to cook it until it's al dente, and I don't care. I like to cook my noodles till they're well done. Almost, white in appearance. Less chewy, more soft, in other words. Here's to the birds. Love you guys. He's so cute. They keep me company while I'm cooking. They're just precious. Cardinals. That's mainly what I get is cardinals, but so many different kinds. This stuff is so pleasant. Semi-sweet, but just perfect. There's my colander, getting ready to go ahead. It says here on the bottle that it's Beverage Testing Institute and it won prizes. Isn't this such a pretty bottle? Product of Italy. I'm so enamored. Let's pour some more. I'm going to get more of this in the future. Alright, I think the noodles are done. Let's see how. Alright. I need a hot pad. This is going to be tricky. Careful. Careful. This is kind of heavy. Hot. Come on, noodle. Come out of there. Yeah, we'll catch up with you later. Alright. Let's just let some of this water drip out of here. Alright. Now let's just assemble this stuff together and see. See, I've never done it like this before either. I usually serve the noodles separately from the sauce. But the way that this gal did it on her channel, she mixed it all together to make a presentation, which I found very interesting. And I am just not having an easy time of getting these noodles out of here. The idea is to get all of this mixed together in here with some sauce to create some kind of table presentation. But I don't have any magnificent casserole dishes to make it all pretty. Just this glass Pyrex container. Let's see what I can do with it. It's so frustrating. See, I want to pick them up and just use my hands, but they're too hot. Okay, I think that might be enough. Is that enough? Probably. Let's give it up. Now, add some sauce and some meatballs. And then I have to try to stir it up once it's in there. You gotta mix the noodles in with the meat and the sauce to make the finished presentation. I want to make sure I have the same ratio of meatballs to noodles best I can. Oh my goodness, I just know I'm gonna spill here. Just know it. Or splatter or something. Oh dear. So I'll get this all mixed up, but I want to make sure that I have meatballs kind of sitting on the top of it to give it just a little bit of more substantial appearance. Let's see if I can get it mixed with a few of those on top. trying to do this and keep the whole dish in view, but I'm not succeeding very well. Alright, let's get some olives. Oh, this is difficult with nails. And dribble the juice out here. I want to just be able to tumble them out. Okay. Now this is not in the recipe according to this other gal on her YouTube channel. But I have come to really appreciate olives and the appearance that they make. Now, a bit of cheese. I never did chop up the tomatoes to put in here. I think in the future I'd probably add fresh cut tomatoes to the sauce. This other gal also had fresh basil to decorate the top with. But do make do. It could make it prettier, I suppose. But that's it. I have got to get a taste of this. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I think I am going to do a little bit of mukbang here. Not intentionally, but I gotta try some of this. And I will not talk for the next few minutes. And then I'll say